Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is David Seonbaek, Head of Policy and Analysis Division at the APO. Today is my great pleasure to have three founders from the startups in Malaysia, Thailand, and Indonesia. So before we get started, I would like to share one video briefly. Okay, so let's get started. Today, the reason why I invited three startups from Indonesia, Thailand, and Malaysia is because the COVID-19 is here. Maybe some companies actually suffered, but at the end of the day, some companies also doing well, and then also even doing better. So these companies must have some kind of a foresight about their business. So that's why I invite Cheng Nok, one of the founders, TheDecisionLabs Malaysia, and then Ong from Thailand, the Drivemate, and also Rama from Indonesia. The company name is Qlue. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming today. Really appreciate it. So today we are going to ask the startup to present their business first, and then we get into the discussion. So Cheng Nok, if you're ready, the floor is yours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cheng Lok. I'm the Head of Business Development for APAC for the TheDecisionLabs. So what is the mission and vision of the TheDecisionLabs? So our mission is actually to help businesses to understand their customers better and deliver exceptional experience that touches the heart of the consumer. Our vision is very clear that we want to provide businesses with the most valuable and sustainable enterprise application software for customer experience. So when you're talking about the TheDecisionLabs, actually a lot of people will know us as customer experience management platform for insights and actions, which is our core product called Sampia. So later on, we actually have evolved to become a market leader in enterprise software application for consumer analytics. We focus on helping business to understand their customers through data, deliver exceptional experience through the customer journey, optimize their operations efficiency, and operate profitably. So this is our three core product. We have our first main product is called Sampia, and the second product and the third product that we launched actually during the COVID-19 period, which is called Live Service, and also called Click Help. So the TheDecisionLabs are very famous for their experience management solution. So, for example, our first product, Sempia, is very popular among the healthcare industry for transforming patient experience. And for our second product and the third product that we have recently launched, which is live service, which is help them to actually target on the service experience, and also Click Help, which is focusing on helping businesses to transform their communication experience. So this is the journey that we are actually helping different businesses to actually tap into. So the first part will be acquire, second part will be serving, nurturing, follow up, and reactivate. For example, our customer experience management platform, Sempia, we actually collect data through different channels, tablet, kiosk, SMS, email, desktop, social media, QR code. We actually listen to the consumer. If there's any complaint, we resolve it for them and actually help them to improve their customer experience. And for live service, a service experience management platform where we actually help all these our clients to actually connect with the clients, with the consumers, and they actually can act on the service requests that they actually placed through our application. And for management side, they actually can strategize on the management decision and how they allocate resources. Last but not least, which is Click Help, our communication experience where we actually empower our consumers so they can actually stay in touch with the organization, and the organization actually can respond to any questions or queries the customer has, and also reactivate the customers who are not active. So through all this that the data that we actually collected, we process through our backend analytics via AI and machine learning that we actually embedded into it. So I will just briefly bring you through our signature and main product, Sempia, which is customer experience management platform for insights and actions. So we focus on helping our clients to improve their customer satisfaction and beyond. So what does Sempia do? So one of the core things that we do, we are a real-time automated complaint management system. For example, when an unhappy patient, they actually raise a complaint through different platforms, instant ticketing will be sent to the respective officer. If the respective officer do not take action on a particular SLA, it will be escalated to a senior officer. They will get triggered on their mobile phone, SMS, and email, and then they are able to identify the issue quickly, take action. Once action is taken, instant process verification by the senior officer, and then once that is done, communication back to patients, and there we have a happy patient always. So, and then moving on, so how does Sempia actually works in a hospital environment? So in hospital, the patient can actually go to any receptionist counter, kiosk, tablet that is available around the hospital, even on a nursing desk, to place any complaints, feedback or suggestions that they have. For inpatient, for outpatient, they can actually go to any kiosk available. And once they actually, all this data has been collected, we will actually put it into the insights and the backend for the management. And beside that, beyond the hospital gate, we also have a post-discharge application where we actually can track what patients or what the consumers are talking about the hospital on social media, blogs, and different channels. And then all these insights will be actually sent to the management and the officer for them to analyze how they work, what are the satisfaction around it, and what are the actions, corrective, preventive measure that they actually take to all these to resolve the issues. So what are the benefits of Sempia? So for hospital-wise, they can get a lot of operational insights. What specialty has more complaints, what specialties perform better, which doctors are performing better, what shift of the day and which week of the day they actually get more complaints, what are the customer satisfaction scores across all departments, what are the repeated issues that's happening in the hospital itself. So by that, once they identify the issue, they could actually reduce patient complaints and improve their operations. Hence, they get more satisfied patients. And with our thing actually integrate to the cloud and integrate to the mobile, SMS, and email, they can actually resolve complaints faster and identify the issue in just merely in hours. And for corporate benefits, they actually get a lot of inter-ward and inter-hospital comparison if they have different branches, different building. We actually use different international benchmarking to actually help the hospital to benchmark, for example, MPS and CSAT. And also we help them to track different complaints, what are the resolution issues. We have a lot of market intelligence inside it. We actually capture different social insights from social media, location analysis, where we actually can track where the patients are coming from. And we also provide a lot of best practices to all our clients by what is the most effective resolution for particular issues and what are the best hospitals solution or customer satisfaction score that are having and what are the issues that they are facing. And we also actually do a lot of different strategic insights to the corporate as well. So in terms of configurability and scalability, we actually, this is why actually a lot of our clients really like us. We are able to actually scale our solution to dozens of hospitals in a few hours. So by that, we can configure a lot of different things for our hospitals. So we can actually create users for admin access, define the escalation matrix for complaints, define function access, set the SLA for each resolution, and also the most interesting part and a lot of clients like us is auto routing based on patients' comments, where we actually embedded Stanford sentiment analysis dictionary in our backend to actually analyze the complaints of patients. So why do a lot of our clients actually pick us? Because we actually have really deep market knowledge on customer experience. We have a really experienced R&D team in the backend, and we provide end-to-end consumer analytics solution. And we actually are comply to a lot of industry standards, where a lot of our clients actually look at it, and we provide excellent customer support. Everything we provide on customer support is online, and we have a wide network of proprietary insights by working with a lot of our clients. So this is the management team. So Anupam Chatterjee, which is the founder and CEO of the company, Abe, which is our CTO, and I am leading the business development and regional expansion of the business. And below are some mentors that we actually, from different industries that actually help us to grow and scale our company. So past so many years, we actually have won different accolades across different continents. In 2017, we actually win one of the best technology platform of Philippines Health Tech Challenge, which is organized by Swiss Embassy and Asian Institute of Management and TED Talk. And on 2018, we actually won the second prize of European Business Speech Competition in Czech Republic. And just last year, we actually won the top 20 health tech product in Asia Pacific, as well as the most innovative patient experience program in India. So starting from last year, we actually are exploring different customer experience opportunity. So we are actually right now also selling our solution to retail, hotels, airlines, insurance, automotive, and e-commerce. This is due to we are getting a lot of interest from different industry, especially when some of them have visited the hospital and they really like our solution and they want us to actually help them to transform the customer experience for their businesses. Thank you so much. This is the end of my presentation.
Okay, thank you very much for Cheng Nok for the presentations. So let's just go to directly Drivemate. Drivemate, Ong, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Let me share my screen.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see my screen now? Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ong, CEO and co-founder of Drivemate. Drivemate is a mobility as a service platform specialized in car sharing and car subscription. We are now present in Thailand. We have been operated for more than 3 years. So our vision to become the world's most loved mobility community, technologically advanced and sustainable platform. And this is Bangkok. For those who maybe have visited Bangkok before, you may find that Bangkok is very, the traffic is very jammed. And these are the problems right now. During the COVID-19, the car dealers cannot sell cars. The sales of the car has been dropped significantly, more than 60%. And of course, they have a lot of inventories, which is heavy inventories. And the roads in Bangkok is built to support only 10% of total cars. And Thailand is the fifth most expensive country to own a car, but we have a very low income. And in the research, it say that we use only 5% of the car. That means 95% of the cars are sitting idles. So Drivemate, we become with the solution of we are the cloud-native technology, on-demand mobility as an alternative to car ownership. We are asset light, so it's very to scale. We have a customer acquisition marketing, and we also have the business dashboard and fleet management for car owners. This is our service today. So we have peer-to-peer car sharing, we have car subscription, we have airport transfer, and in the future, we're gonna have the fleet-for asset-light car sharing, which is similar. I think it's similar to Soul Car in Korea, but this car doesn't belong to us. We're gonna put some IoT in the car, and then it's gonna be contactless. So car owner and car renter do not have to meet each other anymore. And we can be the vehicle supply marketplace for those who drive Grab in Southeast Asia. And this is our value proposition. You can make money from your cars. Our friendly UX UI. We have hundreds of models of car for you to choose. Prices are 20% below market price. We have 27 support, nationwide available, car delivery, online signature, and we are insurance partner with LMG Insurance, a Liberty Mutual company. It's very simple. Just search for a car that you like, select and pay and go. And these are our revenue model. We collected 30% of commission on every single rentals and some of service fee. And we also have some of insurance fee at about 30 to 50%. We are helping the car dealers, as I mentioned just now, that these are the cars that we get from. We are working with car dealerships, car rental companies, leasing companies, and private car owners. And we have a very strong solution to help their business: payment, dashboard, stock management, customer matching. And Drivemate, we are an established platform. We have a strong customer base, 64% retention rate. LTV versus CAC is 4-1. We have customer data about 50,000 people, and we also have a royalty program, referral program. We are also partner with online travel agency like Traveloka, Ctrip, Qlue, and so on. We have raised for 3 rounds already. Seed round we raised with 500 startups. Pre-series A we raised with Isuzu UNT in Thailand and Detect Accelerate. And the latest round we raised with Netso company, which is listed on Nasdaq in the US. And Koropo Next from Japan. They are also VC as well. And Isuzu UNT has doubled down their investment in us at the latest round. And these are the team. I am Ong, CEO and co-founder. And the rest are our co-founder team and the advisory board and investors. If you like to reach out to me, these are the email and my website. Thank you very much.
Rama, are you ready? Let's go.
Yes. Can you see the screen? Hi, everyone. Everybody can see the screen, right? Hi, everyone. My name is Rama. I'm the founder and CEO of Qlue. First of all, thank you for having me here, David, and all fellow founders and everyone, viewers here. I'm from Indonesia. I'm based in Jakarta, Indonesia. And our solution is mostly focusing on smart city ecosystem solution, where we provide a platform that that helps to actually make transparency as well as productivity on the field. So one of our key value is actually synergy. So we work with a lot of partners in order to grow our company, not only in Indonesia, but Southeast Asia, as well as other regions. In total, we have empowered, until the end of this year, it's about 100 cities in Indonesia, out of like about 500 cities. Our solutions focusing on artificial intelligence, IoT, but really the core is actually at the task force. So where we can monitor field operations or field workers more efficiently, effectively, answering all or handling all the problems on the field. Our core mission is to accelerate positive changes worldwide. So it's very important from day one is to have social impact within our company. That kind of value that we admire the most. So the current conditions. This is actually a global situation as well, where urbanization is increasing everywhere, not only in Indonesia. In Indonesia, it's increasing at an alarming rate. People move to cities more every day, every year, and it's growing. And what happened is when people move to cities, that means more people in the cities, urbanizations increase, that means more social issues will happen. So this is what happened when social issues is not handled properly, right? So this is the pictures from 2010, 2011, I believe. We used to have the most flooded, as the #1 flooded city in the world, #1 most traffic congested in the world, polluted in terms of air pollution and water pollution in the world. So it's not really an achievement per se, but it's something that we realize that we need to fix. These are social issues that will affect our GDP tremendously. So me and my co-founder at that time, I remember it was 6 years ago, we were quite concerned, and we thought that someone, maybe a technology can disrupt this and help fix our city. So what we found out is actually the core problem is information, miscommunication between the city owner, or like at that time the governor of the city, to the information on the city itself. So they cannot gather issues proactively, and once they have the issues, it's already too late, and they cannot handle it efficiently using the right field workers, right? So these are just some of the issues that we found, not only in government, but also industries as well. Capturing issues is not real time, and responding it is it's not fast enough. So our solution is quite simple. #1 is we identify problems, and then we respond them. We have to respond them the right way, properly, and then we provide insight. Other than that, also predictive, right? After the data is historically gathered. So identification problem is started from not only, there are two things. So #1 is CCTV. So we have a bunch of CCTV on the streets capturing data, facial recognition, people detection, vehicle counting, license plate recognition, behavior analysis, and so on, as well as people. So people can report problems directly using an app called Qlue. So that app has been downloaded millions of times, and people can report directly to the government, and it will be responded within 2 or 3 hours, depends on where the city you live. But if you're in Jakarta, the capital city, you will get that within hours. So we have empowered more than 100,000 field workers, such as police, security guards, transportation divisions, and so on. And then we also have empowered a lot of IoT sensors implemented in the city to actually capture these problems and automatically solve the problems. I will show you how. So all of this data will be gathered in the dashboard, and then the dashboard will provide automatic dispatch system powered by AI, as well as predictive analysis based on the data that we gathered. So this is just some of the features that we have. As you can see, there is a lot of AI plays, a lot of citizen participations as well in terms of identifications, as well responding can be done by people as well as by sensors. We have done like dynamic traffic light control installations and others. And then the dashboard itself will analyze the data. This is just some of the product features that we have. Mainly a lot of cities, municipalities, police, property developers, building owners, malls, and so on using the city. I'm going to tell you in the end why do we have do we attack? I mean, like, do we penetrate to so many industries or clients? Because smart city is not only government. People think like smart city is the responsible of government, right? But it's responsible of everyone. So it involves government, it involves industry, as well as involves the citizens itself. That's why we have this sequence of solutions that is quite complete. It's an ecosystem of solution of smart city. So this is the pillars or the verticals that we serve: governance, retail, mobility, and so on. Some of the use cases I'm going to show after this. So number one is we do implemented first our solutions for safety and security in ASEAN Games 2018. In Asia, there's Asian Games in 2018, if you guys remember. All of the system of security is actually from us. Capturing data, video analytic, call center, command center platform, third-party data, visualization, citizen participation, and more. And this is really elevate our status to other implementations in Indonesia. Jakarta Smart City is actually one of our milestone as well. We implemented our system in Jakarta, where there is a huge command center monitoring the whole city. People reporting, there is other kind of data that is actually available. This helps really transparency. And the second one is increasing the public trust tremendously. I will show how it can be done later. The other one is, did you see, if you remember, there is a picture of traffic congestion in the very beginning. One of our actions to actually counter that is actually using dynamic traffic light control. So now we're installing a lot of dynamic traffic light controls powered by AI and IoT in intersections in multiple cities. This is proven to actually reduce traffic within that intersections, which hopefully will affect the whole city itself. So believe it or not, back in the days when you want to change the traffic light from, let's say, green 30 seconds to like green light 1 minute, you have to go to the intersection and change it manually. But nowadays it can be done with AI. So AI already captured, oh yeah, this is already traffic, so I got to change it to the green light to several seconds later. We also work a lot with national disaster agencies. So before, whenever there's earthquake or flood, in order to rebuild the city, it can take months, 3 to 4 months. But at the moment, whenever there is, natural disaster happens, they're using our platform to basically capture the data on the field and then send all of the data information about the problems to the suppliers, whether it is supplies for food, clothes, or services for building houses. With Qlue now, they can build, in general, 3 to 4 weeks to rebuild a city back to normal. Safety and security is very important, not only with the police, but also in the building, in the property area, as well as in malls and so on. So our solutions for businesses, not only increasing the safety and security quality, but also reducing security guards tremendously. So there's a huge saving cost there by combining AI and mobile workforce. Residentials in Indonesia, there is a lot of clusters for residential. So we do a lot of empowering clusters with AI and IoT capability. Like in this picture, you can see facial recognition and license plate recognition combined with boom gate. And then the facial now our camera also available with thermal camera. So with the COVID-19 situation here, this is also very popular. For retail as well, we have empowered several malls in Indonesia, the biggest malls in Jakarta, to actually, number one, retain data of the customer. So number one is why they need it is actually e-commerce is booming here, right? And e-commerce can gather a lot of data. But conventional malls cannot do that because they don't, they don't have the right data to capture. I mean, like the right tools to capture the data. So they use CCTV. So number one is people counting, demographic of the citizens, of the guests, of the customers, where they're going, like trajectory analysis, heat map analysis, and so on. So this way they can, in one mall, I remember they negotiate the next year with several tenants using data that they say, hey, a lot of people actually going to in front of your store, so I want to increase the rent for you guys, things like that. Now they can back it up with data. Before they don't have that that capability. Due to COVID-19 as well, this is one example. Fingerprint is really tough now. So you don't use fingerprint anymore because it's very, you have to touch it, right? Using facial recognition combined with attendance system is very popular right now. And we also combine it with thermal camera. So COVID-19 is actually something that hit the whole business in Indonesia very much. But in terms of smart city, it's actually something that really can be solved with smart city solutions. Like for instance, in this case, people reporting non-social distancing people, or CCTVs also can detect people when they're standing too close to each other or there's crowded places. We also provide mask or no mask detection. So because everybody, when they go outside, required to wear a mask. Also, we provide a thermal camera where the thermal camera can be integrated with access and so on, like this picture on the right. Some of the list is very accurate, very seamless, and powered by AI, bunch of AI capabilities. Just some of the videos. Other than that, we still use the citizens' participation very much so on COVID-19 because not everything can be captured with CCTV. A lot of people still reporting. Bunch of violations that is done on the field when they found it during the lockdown. Just some benefit for our clients. Immediate savings is number one. It's immediately after they implement that they can save from the security divisions. They can reallocate their security to other premises, let's say to another building or other properties, instead of hiring more. And then productivity improvement because all of the data is captured. Response time is increased tremendously because we're using KPI-based analysis on the dashboard as well as really quick dispatch system on the mobile workforce using AI. But for government, one thing that I noticed is actually the increase of citizen trust because the response time is very quick now. Citizens more trusting towards the government. I remember Jakarta had about 45% citizen trust to the government. After the implementation, it goes up to 90% something. Yeah, it was not an easy task though. It requires a lot of process in the very beginning to transform the bureaucracy, but we managed to work with this municipality to get it done. The difference between us with other solutions, I'm sure you say that, oh yeah, I've seen there's AI solutions or IoT solutions, things like that. The difference between us is we have a platform that is collaborative. So let's say we work with the police already, we work with the municipality, we work with national disaster agencies, and let's say a township developer is using our platform, they can collaborate inside one platform. So let's say there is one problem inside the township, the police can also dispatch or handle the problems. And then municipality can also handle the problem. So they're like collaborating within one platform. They don't have to write letters anymore to the police, things like that. Makes everything faster because we believe smart city is all about collaboration. And if we collaborate, we can solve problems together faster. That's why our vision is to actually create smart cities all over the nation in Indonesia, 512 cities, in order for us to create a smart nation where everybody can collaborate within one platform. In the past 5 years, what we have done in terms of social impact, the flood that you see in the first page is now gone. We don't have that anymore, thankfully, because citizen participating, reporting a lot of clogged sewers and things like that, trash and others, it really helps reduce flood until 80%. I think it was about 5,000 flood spots and reduced to about 500 or something like that. Garbage, we removed hundreds of thousands of garbage. We captured a lot of drug dealers, and some of them is actually publicized in the news. Criminals activity, we stopped criminal activities. We reduced traffic congestions because a lot of illegal parking being towed because of the Qlue reports, as well as our CCTV starting to work with the dynamic traffic light control. City recovery, we're helping a lot of city recovered from natural disasters. But at the end of the day, this is what really matters for us, again, the social impact. For COVID-19, we are at the moment in the forefront of our government system as well to fight COVID-19, to suppress the outbreak, but we don't have the data at the moment. But soon, maybe after this is all over, we can provide the data. some of the international exposures that we have. We won the Best Government Award in Dubai for World Government Summit and several others in Malaysia, London, Greece, and Hong Kong. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for all the presentations, everyone. So let's get into the discussion right away. So today, we'd like to ask you to share how you came up with your own business in the first place. We really heard that how you're trying to resolve the issues and social issues and problems from your presentations. But let's go back to the original, like ideation level. Maybe you can start, Cheng Nok.
Yeah. So how we came up with our business model is because we actually saw there's a huge disruption we can do in the healthcare industry by talking to different people, especially on customer experience side, because healthcare is actually the less disrupted field, and because not a lot of solution provider would actually go into disrupt healthcare, and the process of handling a complaint all the way from when you're doing it manually, you're filling up the feedback form, it actually takes around more than a week or 2 weeks to actually resolve an issues. And they actually require a lot. They are not able to track what is the turnaround time and what is the issues in the hospital. So that's why we actually come up with a solution to actually help them to actually from 1 or 2 weeks processes, we help them to reduce to less than an hour. And by that, they also actually increase their customer satisfaction. And hence, once customer satisfaction is increased, a lot of returning customers, and also they increase a lot of operational efficiency because they resolve the issues from the root cause. That's why actually we started off our business and our goal.
Yeah. Okay, Ong?
Yep. I actually experienced myself because Bangkok is very traffic jam, right? And I personally do not drive every day. I have a car, I own a car because I bought it, but I don't use it every day. And I just start thinking that, is there any way that how we can help the society and help even myself to earn this idle car and extra income? I tried to research in the internet like 3-4 years ago, and it's come that peer-to-peer car sharing is worldwide, is available worldwide already, such as like in Europe they have this kind of business, in Japan they have this kind of business as well, even in Korea and in the US. So I just come to think that why Thailand don't have this kind of business, and then yeah, I just started. That's the very ideation.
Okay, thank you. Rama, would you like to share how you start your business?
So I think it was inspired because of the problems that we see every day in Indonesia that is not getting better. But more so, it's actually, I remember I used to live in the States for about 10 years. And then when I came back here, I see that, of course, it's the social problems that we see. But after like working in companies, enterprise, climbing ladders in enterprises for about 5 years, we see that the problems are not getting better. So I talked to my co-founder. At that time, we had a small company, like a software house. I talked to my co-founder that, hey, maybe we can, instead of making profit only here, but we can also make social impact for our city at least. So I started talking about this project, how people maybe can contribute, reporting problems, and then government can reply. But my co-founder said that, yeah, maybe we can also have to talk to government. So at that time, the governor of Jakarta was the president of Indonesia right now, Pak Jokowi. And I sent letters to him about 10 times. So it's like just manual letter, like old convention letters. And then finally, he replied. And then our team was very small at that time, maybe only about four people, including the office boy. Someone from the city hall called our office and say, the governor wants to talk to you. So we were given a chance to actually present our dream at that time to help the city get better using our solution. The good thing is government at that time really responsive and say, yes, we want to transform, we want to use this technology and we want to be better in terms of serving our citizens. So that's actually how it started. We didn't know it's gonna be a company because at that time it was still a small product. But eventually, after there is a huge downloads, we received until like 700,000 downloads, 1 million downloads, and then we thought, you know what? I think we have to make this into a company and see what happened. So that's how we started, and we made it into a company, established it 2 years after that.
Okay, thank you for sharing. But as you know, okay, anybody just say, oh, I have a brilliant idea. I just want to go outside and just set up my own company. As you know, it's not like easy, right? So what was the beginning, what was the biggest challenge when you try to set up your business? Ong, maybe you can start.
Okay. To start a business is very hard, right? And this is like a technology startups. I never do this before startup, and I cannot code myself, right? So I need to do the outsourcing website coder. So I asked them, hey, I want to create a website like this. How much does it cost? And they quote me, and I started to, okay, then I'll pay for you, and then you start to code for me. And then there's a lot of that's just website started, right? And about the funding, about the regulation in Thailand as well, about car sharing regulation, about the insurance policy that we have to work together with insurance partner. Luckily that my co-founder is one of the insurance provider in Thailand already, so he knows about insurance business very good. So he brought me to the insurance company, and then we talk, and then the LMG company say, okay, we can be your partner. We can insure your daily rental in every place. And yeah, that's and then we have a problem like in a very early stage. We have a problem every day, but the problems are always gone after we try to solve it. After everybody, the team is trying to solve it together, and the day pass. You know, you just have to just go through it. Yeah.
Okay, Ong. Thank you very much for sharing. Cheng Nok.
Yeah. So I think our biggest challenge in the beginning would be educating the market and also starting to approach different clients. The reason why is because we actually there's no companies that are actually doing all this solution in Southeast Asia. And the only company that is available which are doing customer experience, which is in the US. So, which most of you will know, which is called SAP. They actually started that. So, when we go to approach different clients, I think the first question is how this solution is going to help us to make money. If a hospital or any organization want to implement a solution, they would want to see what is the return of investment. So that is where we actually find challenges at the very beginning. We have to educate them where customer experience is something that you have to build the trust with your customers. And it's not something that you can build in 1 or 2 days. So this is a long-term ROI kind of solution where you might implement the solution right now, build the relationship, but your customer might keep returning maybe after 2 to 3 years, or maybe after they recommend someone after they get a good experience on in your hospital. So I think that is the biggest challenge. And also another challenge is we are actually a startup, and most people that we approach are the C-levels of the hospital, where they actually be in the industry for more than 10, 20 years. And we actually get a lot of rejection where they say they always ask us like, okay, you are a startup and we have been in the industry for so long, and why do you think your solution can actually provide the value for us? Yeah, so that is also another challenge that we actually face when we are talking to different clients at the very beginning of our journey.
Rama, thank you for sharing, Cheng No. Lama?
I think the biggest challenge in the very beginning is it's actually because we are doing everything at that time on the fly. So we got a huge task from a smart city department in Jakarta to actually build a smart city system where our team was still very small. We don't have that many engineering yet. This is something that IBM or Microsoft should be doing, right? So at that time, hiring was quite tough. The talent was really very hard to find. And then the market discovery or the market demand at that time, we don't know whether the citizens will need this. I know the government need it, but will they use our applications? Will they report? Things like that. This is some research that we have to do everything on the fly. Thankfully, they actually need it, right? And then they're already waiting for it. They urge to actually use the applications once we launched it. But once we launched it, what happened there? The UI, UX is not right, things like that. So we have to do a lot of customizations, pivots, not pivots, but customization in terms of the product itself. It's very difficult, but it was very fun at the same time because that's what you have to do, right? You have to see this as a work in progress, and you have to see this as in the most fun way when doing entrepreneurship. And the also difficult one in the very beginning was we only had one project, and once we want to make it into a company and want to basically expand to another city, let's say, we have to do fundraising, right? So once we do fundraising, then VCs, when they see that a startup is only have one client, which is a government, they will say, "No way, it's very dangerous," So we got rejected maybe like 100 times by VCs, until we found the right one. So finding a partner, like shareholders or investors, is also very important for us. We have to find the one that really has the same vision. This is like getting married, right? You have to find the right chemistry, same vision, and things like this. So it was those two things is very tough. Market discovery and fundraising in the very beginning.
Okay. Thank you very much. As you know, the only man who makes no mistakes is the man who never does anything, right? I mean, according to Roosevelt. So you guys have done a great job, but somehow you all managed to overcome all those difficulties, right? So you must have some very strong support team or core team of partners. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to make it so far, right?
Right.
Maybe Chenglo, you can get started.
Right. So I think I'm very glad to actually get to work and start business with people with different backgrounds, because one of the values that we are all aligned is in this world where we actually would always go for collaboration, where you actually collaborate your resources, collaborate your talent. So each of us actually come from very different backgrounds. So our CEO actually come from a statistical background. So actually most of the planning, strategize in terms of the back-end statistic, how it works. And our tech lead, our CTO actually focuses on building the product and actually also understanding the client's requirements and understanding what the users wanted and to build the solution. And whereas for me, I actually focuses on building the business, setting up the operations, selling to different clients, and also expanding the business to different regions. And of course, there is a lot of other team members that we have at the back end that actually support us in terms of doing R&D, operations, business development, project management, where every one of them actually come from different background, different part of the world, where we actually really enjoy working with people with different cultural background as well.
Okay. Ong?
Yeah, I think the difference between culture and background is very important, as Chen Lok say, because my CTO, he's CTO, right? So he can code everything by himself, which is I can't do. And my COO, she is very good in operation, which is I'm not a detail guy, so I can't get too many details. So what I do is business, marketing, and fundraising, right? And what she does is operations and payment, financial, something like that. And the CTO, he do all the technology part for website, for application, and of course, not only the C-level is very important, but also the team is very important as well. For example, our customer service, they have to work nearly 24 hours in the very early stage. They work nearly 24 hours because customer want to book the car, but the app didn't work, it crashed, the website didn't work. Something like this always happen at the beginning. and I have to give the credits to all my team.
Okay, thank you. Rama?
Yeah, now we have a quite good support in terms of management as well as investors. We're so grateful that we have so many support. But in the very beginning, we have to do what we have to do, right? I started together with my CTO, who's very strong in technology and very focused on only technology at that time, and can build everything. Basically, I just had the idea, and then he built it, things like that. I had to do all the sales, business, and which is something that I really love. Along the way, after we got our first angel investors, and then they start also helping with our business, and then we got our Series A, and then more support as well. But I think one key is very important key is actually synergy, especially when you're dealing a lot with B2B as well as B2G. You got a lot of professionals that need to back you up as well, because they have the experience, right? So we are very grateful to have them supporting us.
Okay, so I just have a very quick question about your teams. You know that even though you have a core team, it doesn't mean that you get along all the time. You must have some conflicts and different opinions, definitely, right? So how would you resolve all those conflicts, even though you guys are united, you support each other, but more often than not, it happens, the difference of opinions. How would you deal with them? Chengnok, Ong, Rama, anyone?
Right. So I think I will go first. I think first of all is always go back to the root where what is your mission and your vision when we actually started off working together in this company. And when your mission and vision is really clear, and there comes the value where all of you actually shared when you start the company together. So some of the values that we always, I think is very important for us, which is trust. In a team, you have to always trust each other and have each other back when there is problems that they come up on the organization. I think trust is the only one of the most important value when you actually want to resolve conflicts with your team.
Okay, Ong?
Yeah, there are a lot of conflicts, right, in a team. But every time we have conflicts, we have to come to speak to ourselves and with the team that what does this benefits to our customer. So one of the strategy that we use right nowadays is customer centric, which is very important. What does this impact to the society? What does the impact to the customer, right? Does the customer happy if we choose this? So we are kind of like try to be the customer brain, and then everybody vote, and then we make a decision.
Rama?
I agree totally. Number one is I think we have to go back to our core mission in order to basically see what kind of decision that we will make. And for us, the value that is very important is social impact as well, and see how it's gonna serve our customers. I think it's very important because a lot of arguments also happen. But usually, what I do is between the management, let them just bring out their opinions, right? Let them argue, things like that, and that. And at the end of the day, they have to know that there is one decision that they need to follow, right? Because when you have like so many management at the moment, we have a lot of managers as well as the management team. This kind of things happen a lot. But at the end of the day, we have to make one decision, and it has to the CEO has to take the decision. So and they have to also know that, or else it's gonna be hard. There will be like two sides of the companies, things like that. I see that several times in startups as well. So yeah, you just have to be firm and make decisions on which one that you believe really best for your customers.
Okay, thank you very much. You know that we all the time talk about making mistakes is important. Making mistakes is the first step to learn better and then improve yourself better. But still, we have limited resources. So on the one hand, we have to keep encouraging the staff to make mistakes so that they can learn more, so that they keep trying. But on the other hand, we have limited resources as a startup companies. So how would you deal with all those challenges? I mean, you have to make sure that you still maintain the innovative culture, but at the same time, you also have to minimize the resource, any attempts for waste of resources. So how do you balance them out? Changnok, you can go first.
Mm, mm. I mean, in terms of innovation, we always innovate based on learnings and
Mhm.
also data that we actually get, especially with our clients by working together with them through data, and
Mhm.
we actually able to understand their organization better.
Yeah.
So once we understand the organization better and identify the problems that they are facing, so we
Mhm.
can actually tweak and innovate and our products at the back end actually to help them to actually resolve the issues they are facing. So
Mm.
that is how we what we actually do. The main thing I would say is continuous learning.
Mhm.
And learning as in how we learn based on data. Once we get the data, we incorporate it into our R&D, and
Mhm.
that's actually how we continue innovating our product to actually suits the market.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mm.
Ong?
Yeah, again, back to customer centric. Every time that we have to do innovation or like do some new design or whatever, we have to taste with our customer, right? I always tell my team that don't scare off any new product or new design. Let the customer choose. For example, you let the new design go up on the website. I will see the data first. Look at the heat map. Does the customer click here a lot? Does this impact our revenue or not? So all the data is tells you everything. If it doesn't work, the revenue should go down, right? And the heat map, no one gonna click it. But if it works, there's going to be a lot of clicks, a lot of revenue that come from there. So I'm keep telling them like, don't scared of mistake, don't scared of failure because fail fast, learn fast, right? And I always tell them that hey, the comedy like us in the US is very big. So I have a like a dream for them to
Mhm.
to like to follow the comedy in the US.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's how I keep them innovative culture.
Okay. Rama?
Yeah, I always tell my team that making mistakes is good because at the end of the day, you have to make mistakes all the time in order to eventually be successful, right? Whether it is in business or making a product and so on. But in order to mitigate making on those mistakes, is basically doing research prior to releasing a feature. Let's say you have to talk to the customers, you have to test it out first. But if you still make mistakes, so yeah, maybe sometimes you have to tweak around your research method and others. But I think it's mistakes, failures. It's something that we will have to deal with anyways. It makes us stronger in the future as well, and we learn more. So I see the improvement as well as the progress of our team as well. Now they're used to making mistakes whenever because we have so many products, right? The IoT, the AI, and then we serve so many customers, so they're used to making mistakes. And eventually, now they're more on point. Whenever they already get the feel that maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I need to use this method, things like that. So I think don't be afraid of making mistakes. I think it's a good thing. It's just delayed of success.
Okay, thank you for sharing. So I just want to ask you this. So in order to improve productivity in your companies, because as you know, our organization is a agent productivity organization. So I really would like to ask you this question: that what kind of specific tools or techniques they are using to improve productivity in your own organization? Changnok, you can go start.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think one thing is passion. Another thing is where we actually focuses a lot, which is the work-life balance. So passion in terms of like you only have like one life, right? So you have to live your life seriously. If you do something, you should do something where you are actually passionate about. So when you are passionate about something, then you actually will your productivity will increase because you actually focus when you do your work. And in terms of work-life balance, we actually always encourage our staff to actually engage in different activities, do something maybe 80% of the time they are actually doing the work, but 20% of the time we actually allow them to actually learn something that they like to, or they do something on the side that is giving back to the society. So that is actually how we encourage our employee to actually participate, learn from others, collaborate with each other in different projects. And that is how we actually increase the productivity of the organization.
Okay, thank you. Oh.
Yes, for me, I divided to two teams, right? One is the C-suite, C-level. I always tell them that it needs to be work-life integration. You cannot work-life balance, because if you want to be a good entrepreneur, you need to work 24/7, right? You can of course you can sleep, you can do like some exercise, but you have to always turn on. What it means is, if you want to be successful, you can't just watching movies at the Friday night. You can watch, but actually you need to always on. If I have something to call, entrepreneurship had to be like that.
Yeah.
And even on Sunday is your holiday. Is holiday, but you are the C-level. You need to be work all time. It cannot be escaped. But I know for the staff, they are not the C-suite, so the exception. Work-life balance is very important for them. They can do whatever you want on the holidays, and I'm trying to not to involve much with them, right? And we have the 1 year, what's it called? 1 year. I give them like a bonus for them to go to learn something new.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one.
Rama?
Yeah, quite similar. We didn't divide it officially, but in our mind, like the C-levels, you don't have any working hours. You just work every time, right? Weekend, night, and all the C-levels already, have that mindset before they're joining Qlue. I think they already have that mindset. But all for the working levels, I think more activities will increase productivity. Activities outside of job, like outside of work, maybe like playing together, communications, things like that. I see that more effective in terms of increasing the spirit, especially during this time in COVID situations as well. So I think, especially engineers, they're quite different than other divisions as well, right? So it's more sensitive with them. So I always tell that, do a lot of activities with them, and then you'll get productivity out of them. But also, we also implement a lot of tools at the moment, especially because working from home, a lot of more intense in terms of tools for like monitoring. So mostly like Slack, those same tools, GitHub, and all that, but a little bit more intense, because we still believe that accountability is very important.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing. Some of the viewers for our channel are actually policymakers in 21 member countries. So I would like to ask you, as a startup companies and SMEs, as entrepreneurs, of course, if we can get a lot of support from the government side, that'll be great. But at the same time, it cannot happen all the time. So if you can, let's say, make one wish that how the government can help you, be careful, because if your clients are government, you shouldn't say anything bad about government. So, but on the other hand, if there's anything you really hope for from the government side, what would that be? Maybe Rama can start. Be careful.
Government side.
Okay.
What would that be? Well, Qlue is all about the government, right? We see that government as our infrastructure in terms of scaling our business. So because we already connected to the to the government, we see that it's easier for us to actually go to enterprises, because we can say, hey, even the city that is very complex already using our smart city solutions. Imagine what we can do to your city, right? And we can already connect right away their information to the government. So I think government has been very amazing, supporting us in terms of projects, business, right? But synergy is also very important between government and enterprises. So we see that there is a very, very big synergy over there in terms of like offering our solutions. So for me, I think government has been doing great.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Ong, how about you?
Yes, in Thailand, I think the government has supported a lot in terms of funding in startups already. I think that's very great. But if I could make a wish for them, I want them to prioritize the local startups more than international startups or even the big company like Facebook or Google, because like today, Facebook, Google, or Lazada, Shopee, they are all overseas company. They are non-Thai, and these are the main major income. I mean, like the business maker in Thailand. So I think I want them to if this company come, maybe the government should control something like maybe like 49% of shareholding or whatever. I don't know, but they should have something like that. That's not gonna make like it's gonna be the U.S. company that like eating all the South Asia.
Okay, Chengno.
Yeah, so I think in terms of from the government side, previously I worked for a government agency which drive innovation in Malaysian startup ecosystem. So I think for me, open collaboration between government and all these different corporates and startups is very important, especially when the government can actually provide more opportunities to actually work together to actually build solutions for the government during this, especially during this COVID-19 period where it is so crucial to digitize the entire government rather than having people to actually go to particular departments to actually resolve issues. So I think if there's one wish that I would want the government to actually help the startups is where they actually create more opportunities for open collaboration.
Open collaboration. Huh?
Yes.
Okay, so before we go to the live chat questions, let me ask you this question because the future actually really heavily lies on the customer data and data management. And so for you, what does it mean to have this data, especially the customer data, and when you strategize and when you make a plan for the future? So how would you tap into those data that you have been collecting? Maybe Rama, you can start because you're all about data, right?
Yeah. What was the question? What was it again?
Simply put. So how the data is going to help your business when you make a plan for the future, and not only just the data in general, also customer data. So basically, it's about the role of the data in your business, the significance of it.
Yeah. So in terms of data in general, you have to use data to make decisions on every move, strategic decisions in the company, right? But in terms of data from our customers, we don't really use it at the moment because it's a lot of them is very confidential. A lot of them is only for government use only, not government use only, but it's already stored in the government on premise, so we don't have access to that because it's just the request from the government. But in terms of insights, so we can get insights from the data. Let's say within this area there is more male than female, things like that. We can use that for maybe download for a promotion for the Qlue apps, let's say, to distribute information and so on, to increase our users and so on. So we don't use the data per se with raw data, but you can use it for insights to actually increase our users in Qlue.
Okay.
Yeah, for us, the customer data is very important because we are the B2C company, right? So we use that data to marketing and to tell promotion or whatever. Like where do they use the car, the purpose of using the car, how long the duration is used. So all this data is very important for us for making a new product or even for a promotion.
Yeah. Okay, Chengno?
Yeah, I think data for us is very important to actually help our clients to identify the root cause that are actually causing the discrepancy in terms of customer experience. We always use data to actually guide our clients to actually make strategic decisions and also management decisions to actually what to be improved on the client side to actually drive the customer satisfaction to go up. So we use data to actually guide management decision and actually resolve the issues that the hospital is facing to improve their customer satisfaction.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to the live chat question. Any of you can tackle one question. Let's say from Thomas from Singapore said that post COVID-19. So what strategy can you give to SMEs not just survive but thrive? Thanks. So who would like to answer this question? Or any of you?
Yeah, this is something that I always say to my team, that you can't only survive the pandemic, but you have to thrive during the situation, right? What we did is basically from day one, there's a lot of things that we did. So we always have to stay prepared instead of get prepared later on when something happens. So number one is very important in terms of company itself. So cash flow, you have to manage it. You have to have runway at least 12 months. You have to, if you are still fundraising, just fundraising every time. Do not fundraising 3 months after before your runway ends. But in terms of product, it's basically you have to have the capability to not only serve one client, but maybe multiple diversification in terms of clients. So let's say in Indonesia, we serve not only B2C but also B2B and B2G. So when COVID hits, the B2B aspects is actually kind of like stop, but demand is increased. Something also similar, let's say with Gojek, right? Yep. So they have so many pillars of products. They have the Go Ride, and then like Drive, and then food, and so on. The several of their verticals or pillars is not as high as usual, but like GoFood is very, the order is through the roof, right? So you have multiple, like an ecosystem instead of only one engine or one product. So I think this kind of like contradictive with started having to focus, but I understand. At the end of the day, you have to make an ecosystem in order to avoid these kind of things when happen. Yeah. So and in terms of agility, it's also very important. So you have to be agile. You have to be ahead of your competitors. So you have to plan everything. You have to provide BCP, like business continuity planning, whenever this hits. So stay ready instead of have to get ready.
Okay, so let's go to the next question. I think I would try to figure out who is the Mr. Luke. It's actually turned out it's a Cheng Luke, like Cheng Nok. So this is the question for you, Cheng Nok. So, but Miriam said that Mr. Luke, I think Cheng Nok. So how can you help the small companies, startups, which are still to start in their e-commerce and online business in the Philippines due to COVID-19? So it means that you are actually helping the companies to transform themselves. Yeah. So if it's an early stage, if it's in the middle of the COVID-19, they don't have a lead time. So how can you help them?
Yeah, I think the most important is the adaptability to these changes, because this COVID-19 pandemic actually hits a lot of businesses around the world in this pandemic. So I will share a little bit of story on my end. Actually, a lot of companies actually reaching out to us, whether it's big companies and small companies, they're reaching out to us for digital transformation, because they know that post-COVID or after COVID, they will still need to go on with this new life. Hence, there's a lot of digitization for different companies, and also how we actually help them to structure their business to actually build more sustainable business model for them. So they are not, they won't be impacted again when the next pandemic hits them. So that's why we actually do. We actually, during this period of time, a lot of corporates, especially where they actually have the budget, they reach out to us, and actually they said, could you help us to develop different solutions that could help them to enhance their operations or create new revenue streams for them. For small businesses, I think there is plenty of opportunities around. It's just that how you potentially could work together with different people, and most importantly is not to make a profit during this pandemic, but how do you help each other to actually survive through this pandemic, and later on we could all make profit together.
Okay, thank you. Ong, I think this question you can answer. So Singapore, the William from Singapore, other than government stimulus and fiscal policy or help, so what can SME or startup business owners can do their own themselves so that they can rebound? You can just talk about, share your own strategy, how you're going to survive this COVID-19 other than without relying on the government side.
So the question is, how are you going to survive after post the COVID-19 without the government's help, right?
As you know, nowadays around the world, the government is preparing the package, right? Stimulus package, and they talk about how they are going to help the startup companies, SMEs. So in your case, what's your strategy to survive and thrive later?
Okay. I think the very important thing is to cut down all the costs that you think it should be cut. I think what you have to do now is bring the financial statement and read every single line, which I did just before already, and make sure that you are prioritize the bottom line, which is the gross profit is very important, and also EBITDA is very important. Make sure that your EBITDA is okay, is not minus, or if it's minus, you need to do fundraising. And as Rama say, always do fundraising every day. I do fundraising every day, right? But if you fundraising, what you need to do now is just read every single line of financial statement and cut off all the cost. And if you had cut that already, what you have to do after that is, making your business on more digitization, more online. Just you need to live with this kind of situation for maybe 3-4 years, 5 years, and maybe longer. So you need to change the way how I don't know what the business is, but you need to change the way of the business from now on.
Okay, thank you. So there's a question for Rama. So Rama, this is a question for you. So how startup companies survive after COVID-19 and how it affects your business model? Is there any business model change because of the COVID-19 on your end?
Not really, because in a way, we do have released a new product because of this COVID-19, a lot of IoT products for new normal, as well as some tweak in terms of AI vision from our end. But in terms of business model, we just, if usually we do subscription based, pay monthly, right? Right now, I know that during the situations, payment can be tough, so we have to make it. They pay upfront. That's the only business model that we do, because sometimes the services is already in. We installed everything in there, but if they don't eventually pay, it's going to be another problems. We don't want to add problems. So we only analyze the clients that probably not really fully impacted by this, but also the one that is impacted but can get help using our solutions, that have higher chance of eventually make the payment. Because at the end of the day, even in Indonesia, believe it or not, it's a lot of people actually ask me from other countries, you're dealing with government, is the payment hard, things like that. Government is actually, they have to disburse the budget that they already allocated, so they will pay, they will not cut that, and all that. Enterprise is the hard ones, and especially during these situations. So that's why we have to just change the terms of payment slightly. I saw that in other startups, they have to pivot, not only business model, but they have to pivot. I know this startup, they used to serve hotels. Now hotels is basically, they're like the Grab for hotels, right? But hotel is basically now non-operating, zero occupancy. Now they changed the system to hospitals. Now they're actually starting to see growth. So because of COVID-19, they actually make more money in terms of business. So I see that extreme pivot is very important, but very calculated. It has to, there's risk, but very calculated risk. You have to do it. But that's basically it.
Okay, thank you. Ong, I would like to ask you the same question. Because of COVID-19, do you have any change of business model, or?
Yes, we have. Before we used to focus on daily rental, but
Mhm.
now we more focus on monthly rental, which is a subscription that we just launched in January.
Mhm.
And it turns out very good because people don't want to buy cars anymore. I mean, like there's a lot of people that they just want to pay as they use. They don't want to be like financed for 4 years, 5 years, because they don't know how the situation in the future going to be.
Mm.
And
About
how we survive is, as I said just now, we cut down all the fat and we try
mm.
to be lean as we can. That's
Mm.
that's a very important thing.
Okay. Changlok, do you have any change of a business model yet, or it just goes as it is?
We did not really change our business model. Actually,
Mm.
our situation is exactly opposite of what Rama said.
Yep.
We actually deal most of it with corporate enterprise,
Mhm.
and we actually don't take a monthly subscription. We take
Mhm.
annual subscription. So they have to pay 1 year in advance to
Mhm.
actually use the solution. And most of the payment actually has been done before COVID. So
Oh,
it's actually
good, huh? Good.
Congratulations.
even during COVID, we managed to actually close corporates where they would want to pay an entire annual payment for us during this COVID for the digital transformation as well. So that's why we actually have the capacity to actually hire more talents to actually build new solutions where based on clients' requirements during this time. Our business actually grow
Mhm.
during COVID rather than just staying stagnant.
Okay, thank you. So actually, it's about time to wrap up soon, but I would like to ask you this question. You know that now is a really challenging time, but then at the same time, we should be able to foresee what's going to happen in the future. Otherwise, you can, as Rama said, we might survive, but we might not last.
Mm.
So the next question will be, so what can we do against this kind of pandemic situation by using the foresight or by foreseeing the future? And because now we are not talking about next year or 2 years from now, right? Because we are talking about, I know that the Ong and Rama, Changlok, you want to stay in the market for one more year or let's say 100 years, right? So how you are going to strategize your business? Because you're not able to predict actually. You're not like fortune tellers, but you
Right.
should be able to read it anyway.
Mm.
So I would like to hear your insights on that. Maybe you can start, Rama.
Yeah, you kind of have to see it already at the moment. Let's say, for COVID, at least for the next year, if the vaccine is not found, you have to stay in new normal, right? So
Yep.
find a solution for new normal. If
Mm.
some that there is a market for you to serve over there, then just stick with it. If eventually COVID is gone all of a sudden, I don't know,
Yep.
not because of vaccine, maybe next month, then go back
Mhm.
to your original plan in the beginning of the year. But I see that it will continue like this at least maybe until end of year. You have to pivot right away to solutions that is serving for new normal, and change your business model, tweak your terms of payment, and then maybe serve not another customers, but another industries, maybe from government to enterprise or the other way around, and stick with that and focus because you only have, not maybe the team is not big, so you have to focus on one area for this moment.
Okay, Ong.
Yes. As for 1 year plan, I'm planning to focus on more monthly rental, a longer rental, not the daily anymore, because the daily is rely on the sightseeing and the tourist. But if after 1 year we still in this pandemic situation, I need to rethink my business model again to even to survive or even to thrive. We may have to change business model, like flip the business model, like never happened before because it's new normal. And
Mm.
after 1 year, I cannot foresee like how is it going to happen. But for me, as 1 year plan, we're going to focus on more longer term rental.
Mm. Okay, Changlok.
I think for my advice for all the startups is adaptability towards all these changes. And when you build your business, always think about long-term and sustainable business model where you don't only rely on one revenue streams, where diversification is also very important. So that's what we always have in mind when we actually work with different clients from different industries, and we always continuous to actually adapt our product to different situation, especially during this COVID. There's new solution were required by all this government or by all this corporation that we actually continue building it, because when there is something hit, there's a pandemic, there's always opportunities on the other side. So how you actually grab the opportunities and continue staying alive is actually very crucial for businesses.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for your time. Before I wrap up, I really like this one, that sometimes when you innovate, you make mistakes. It's best to admit them quickly and then get on with improving your other innovations. Steve Jobs. So I was going to ask you the last question, is that because you are the founders, you are the CEOs, you are the management. So as you know, embracing change is never easy. So when any organization, because it's not going to be your closing remark, or you can give your advice, if there is any issues or difficulties and challenges in any organization when it comes to change, and what would you say? Because I know that you already talked about this throughout the whole almost 80 minutes, but if you can recap, because we can easily say that, oh, embrace changes, or make a mistakes, it's okay. But when it happens, people are not very happy. So as founders, and then also as leaders, what kind of advice or insight would you like to share before we close? Okay, I would like to ask Rama first.
Yeah, it's funny that you asked that, because our hashtag in Qlue is actually literally translated to "Dare to Change."
Oh, very good.
But it's actually for something else, where citizens can dare to change for the better, positively.
Yes.
But yeah, it's literally translated into that. But yeah, you have to embrace change, because you're still a startup. You have to adapt with situation. Sometimes things happen. Probably you lose a client, or maybe pandemic happens. You have to switch your business model. You have to pivot from your product. It's something. It's a roller coaster ride. It's very fun. I see that it's part of the journey. It's like playing video game. It's fun. I see it. But if you don't see it as something that is enjoyable, you will be stressed out with all of this situation, right? You have to make sure you keep the right mentality and always enjoy the journey. But adaptability, again, it's very important. You have to prepare all the time. So like I mentioned earlier, stay prepared in order for you to not get prepared later on when something happens. So stay prepared in terms of cash flow. Stay prepared in terms of changes for business model. Strategically already plan business continuity plan from the very beginning. If this happened, what you should do. If this happened, what you should do. So you have to discuss this with your management. Try not to, your staff, your employees is number one assets. Obviously, people is the number one assets. So even during this pandemic, a lot of companies, a lot of startups doing layoffs and everything like that. Even though in terms of cash flow, we're not the best, but of course we are trying to put our employees first. So we don't do that at all, because we believe that it will just demotivate the rest of the employees. So we want them to keep motivated by introducing new products, and then show them that guys, we can do this, and lead the way. As a founder, you have to lead the way. So just say, okay, the direction is over here. We have to do it all together. We just have to do it. So I think it's very important to do that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Ong?
Yeah, I think the important thing is, and you need to embrace the change, embrace the failure, and of course embrace the opportunity. Because don't forget that let's say that if you start some startup, and it's been like 1 or 2 years already, and it hasn't take off, or it's nothing, right? You need to embrace that, hey, this is not work anymore, and you need to move on, like Steve Jobs said just now, move on to your next innovation. Otherwise, the opportunity cost, the time that you have been stuck with your old innovation is cost you maybe like for the whole life. So you need to realize on that and move on very quickly.
Okay, thank you. Cheng-nok, oh, you have an honor to close.
Yeah. So I think I really like I think Rama tagline for his company Dare to Change, which I think what we have in our company is also whenever somebody make mistakes or whenever any challenges that we face, we always have to adapt to different situations. And when you make a mistake, you should own up on your mistakes and take responsibility to learn from the mistake and how to make things better. So that's how you actually continue to improve and innovate on your product. And that's why change is the only constant, where you have to keep on, the world is keep on changing, and actually how are you going to adapt to different changes, which is one of our philosophy that we always believe in.
Okay, thank you. And I don't know what happened to Rama's screen, but anyway, so let me close. So really appreciate your time today, and really it was wonderful and insight, and really appreciate it. And everyone, and all the viewers, please make sure that you watch this one again, because there are so many insights. Just before I close, I think Rama's case, I think there's something happened, right? It's a power failure, Rama?
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. Hey, it will happen, right? Technical glitch we cannot stop all the time. We cannot control, so it happens.
Yeah.
But before I close, let me just ask you this question. I have this cup. It's a water. Rama, Ong, Cheng-nok, can you guess the weight of this cup? Is the water inside? Can you guess how much weight?
50 grams.
Yeah, we never know, right? It maybe depends, right? It's not important whether we have this absolute weight that we know or not. It's just if I hold like one day, maybe it feels heavy. If I hold it like for 5 minutes, maybe it's not that heavy. So I think depends on how you see things. Many things can be different. So at the end of the day, we would like to improve by making a lot of mistakes, and then try to see things from the different angles. Then we find some other new opportunities. I think that's all about innovation, and that's all about keep embracing changes. So I hope that you guys thrive for the next 100 years at least, and then make sure that you have a very strong leadership and management, and never ever settle down, never stop innovating yourselves. Let's not stop innovating ourselves. So Rama, Ong, Cheng-nok, thank you very much, and then I hope that we can see each other later again. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's wrap it up here. Have a nice
Take care.
day.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe.
Bye-bye.